started with a video, just one. A sunny afternoon by the pool, my baby's first splash into the water, his little legs kicking with pure delight. I should have felt joy watching it. Instead, I felt sick. He sent it without asking me. The moment I saw myself in the footage, not the glowing, proud mother I imagined I'd be, but exposed, heavy, vulnerable, something inside me collapsed. I looked huge, not just in my eyes, in the photos too, and he had already sent them to his parents. My throat tightened, my stomach flipped. I wanted to throw up. I'm 38. I just had a baby. My son is 8 months old, and I'm exclusively breastfeeding. My body doesn't feel like mine anymore. Every day, I fight a silent war with the mirror, pretending I don't care, pretending I'm fine. But inside, I ache. I ache for the person I used to be, for the confidence I used to wear like a second skin. So when I asked him, "You didn't send these to your parents, right?" I already knew the answer. "Of course I did," he said. And just like that, my skin felt like it didn't fit. I cried. Right there in our home, tears came without permission. I told him how insecure I've been, how I don't want anyone seeing me like this. I told him I felt violated, even if that sounds dramatic. And he looked at me like I was crazy. "It's just my parents," he said. "Who fucking cares?" But I care. I've always cared about how I look in photos. That's not new. That's not hormones. That's not insecurity spiraling into some medical diagnosis. That's me, a person who has always liked to feel good in her own skin, in her own frame. And this time, I didn't. And I wasn't given the choice. I tried texting him later, hoping he'd hear me better that way. I told him I'm struggling, that there's not much I can do right now while I'm breastfeeding, that I feel powerless. I told him I felt like he was saying my feelings don't matter. I told him this wasn't about vanity. This was about consent, dignity, respect. And do you know what he said? "Don't be in the fucking pictures then." Like it was that simple. Like I should erase myself from the memories entirely, just to avoid the shame. We've been together for 11 years. 11 years of knowing how I feel about this. 11 years of me asking to check photos before they're shared. Not because I'm shallow, but because I'm human. Because I like to feel okay with myself. Because I deserve that much at least. But he didn't stop there. He looked me in the eye and said, "You're starting to sound like my sister." His sister, the person we both agree is toxic, cruel, vile. That's when I snapped. "What the fuck did I do to deserve that?" I said. And then I broke. I walked away, sobbing harder than I had in months. And later, when he came to me and asked, "Are we going to talk?" I had nothing left, just tears, just silence. All I had wanted was to choose what was shared. I never said he couldn't show anyone our son's first pool day. I just wanted to say which photos, which clips. The video, I knew I couldn't change. But the others? There were 50 pictures, mostly duplicates, same shot, same angle. I only wanted to keep a few, the ones where I didn't feel like I was drowning in myself. But none of that mattered to him. And what hurt more than anything, more than the video, more than the comments, was the way he dismissed me. The way he made me feel like I was nothing more than a burden. Like I was stupid, irrational, a problem. He didn't say, "I'm sorry you feel that way." He didn't say, "I understand you." He said, "Get over it." He said, "It's not that deep." But it was that deep. For me. Because I've been surviving these past 8 months. not thriving, not glowing, just surviving. I breastfeed every few hours. I barely sleep. I barely eat unless it's to stay functional. My body is stretched, sore, constantly needed, and the one person who's supposed to protect my heart didn't. And now, people on the internet say I should see a therapist, that I'm hysterical, that I'm overreacting. But am I? Why is it so outrageous to want control over how your own body is shared? Why is it so unreasonable to ask for respect, not just for how I look, but how I feel? I don't have postpartum depression. I'm not broken. I'm just a woman who wants to be seen for more than her body, and yet still be allowed to care about how that body is portrayed. Because here's the truth. I've always loved how I look. Even when I didn't, I worked on it. I adjusted. I improved. I moved forward. But now, for the first time, I'm stuck. Not just physically, but mentally. I'm in between identities. Not who I was. Not yet who I'll become. And I needed someone to hold that space with me. To understand. To wait. To ask. Instead, I got silence. Or worse, shame. The internet says my kid won't care how I looked, that the memories are what matter. And maybe they're right. Maybe one day, he'll look back and see love in my tired eyes, joy in my stretch-marked arms. But right now, I'm still in it. I'm still becoming. And I don't want those moments passed around like they belong to everyone but me. Because they don't. They're mine too. Eventually, we talked. My husband and I. He said he wasn't trying to be cruel. That he didn't send the photos thinking, "Oh, look how big she looks." He said he just wanted to share a moment, a happy one. I believed him. I did. I know he wasn't being malicious, but intent isn't the only thing that matters. Impact does too. He apologized. He said he'd try to communicate better. He said sorry for the sister comment, which, to be honest, still stings. But something has shifted. And maybe what hurts most isn't that he sent the photos. Maybe it's that when I told him I was hurting, he told me I was being ridiculous. That, somehow, pain needs to be justified to be acknowledged. That I need to be a certain kind of broken for it to count. But I'm not broken. I'm just asking to be seen. Not for how I look, but for what I feel. So, am I the asshole? Was it wrong of me to react the way I did? To cry? To feel violated? To ask for control? Maybe some will say yes. That I'm letting vanity cloud what should be a happy memory. That I'm making it about me when it should be about the baby. But here's the thing. I am part of the memory. I'm not just the one holding the camera or standing behind the baby. I'm in it. I matter too. And if I can't choose how I show up in my own memories, what do I have left? Maybe it wasn't about the photo at all. Maybe it was about feeling invisible in the one place I should feel safe. Maybe it was about realizing how easy it is to lose your voice when you become a mother. And maybe, just maybe, I was asking not for control, but for respect. So, am I the asshole? Or am I just asking to be heard? Wow. This story hits hard, not because of the photos or the argument, but because of the truth underneath it all. We don't talk enough about what happens to identity after childbirth. How motherhood rewires the body, yes, but also the soul. How someone who once felt confident, powerful, grounded, can suddenly feel like a ghost in her own skin. And when your partner, the person who's supposed to hold you steady, brushes that off like it's nothing, it's not just disappointing, it's devastating. This story isn't about vanity. It's about agency. It's about being allowed to exist fully even when you're not at your best. Especially when you're not at your best. So to all the new moms out there, you are allowed to care about how you look. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to ask for consent, even from your husband. That doesn't make you broken. That makes you real. And to everyone else, when someone you love tells you they're hurting, believe them. Don't minimize. Don't dismiss. Don't call them crazy. Just listen. Let them be human. Because maybe what we all need, more than perfect pictures, is someone who will pause and say, I see you. You matter. You're not alone. So what do you think? Was she overreacting? Or was she just fighting for the right to feel seen? Let us know in the comments below. This is AITA Stories, and we'll see you next time.